You may not know this, but all you really need is one good cry.
I wake up every day as flesh and bones, humbled alone, weak on my own. Lord, you love me bare and natural. You meet me where I am.
Crying brings clarity. Crying tends to open up your eyes in a way that they were not before you release that cry. Sometimes we try to be strong when we are not, and that does way more damage than we even anticipate. Because see, the lack of crying or expressing your emotions or your deep hurts and pains or whatever it is that you may be experiencing, it causes your soul to be suffocated. It causes you to remain in a place of pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Now, we know that God is our source. We know that He is our healer, our protector. He's our everything. But He also tells us to bring our burdens to Him. And the only way for us to bring our burdens to Him is for us to acknowledge that we have them. Many times we walk around acting as if we're fine, we got this, we're okay. And most of the time is due to the fact that we are the ones that always have to be strong. But sometimes you just cannot keep pretending. Really, you shouldn't do it. But when you continue to pretend over and over and over, you're causing yourself to become a boiling pot that will soon boil over. You know, God has been so good to us in so many ways. He's given us grace and favor and mercy and all the things and seasons of joy and times of great distress. God has lifted us up and given us comfort. But we have to remember that God is our source. We cannot be Superman or Superwoman in our lives. We can't be our own hero. God is our hero. And if we fail to allow Him to do the job of the hero and be our supernatural everything, then we keep that pressure on ourselves. And in doing that, we set unrealistic expectations for ourselves that we just will never be able to live up to. When you suppress your feelings, you're typically holding in things that you actually need to let out. And so when you aren't letting those things out, you're keeping them suffocated down and you're pretending that you don't feel this way. It's like sweeping things under the rug. It's kind of how people used to do back in the day, like our grandparents, great grandparents, right? Things would happen that we never knew about because they always got swept under the rug. But then later in life, you see the fallout from that dust or those dirty things that were hidden and swept under the rug. They come out in different ways. They come out in the form of depression. They come out in the form of mental illness. They come out in the form of anxiety, fear, rejection. Whatever you sweep under the rug, it will not remain there for long. Eventually it will creep out and it will be even worse than it was when you swept it under the rug. God tells us to lay all of our burdens and our cares upon Him. And in doing so, He is going to give us peace that passes all understanding. In doing so, He will make things lighter on us. In other words, the burdens that we bear, the weights that we carry will become lighter as we give these things to the Lord, because we have to understand that we are simply human. We are capable of managing ourselves to a degree, and then God has to take over and He has to manage the entirety of who we are, okay? When life gets to be overwhelming, when things get to be chaotic, when things get to be so far gone, you're dealing with a health crisis. You're dealing with the loss of a loved one. You're dealing with your inner battle and turmoil of where you are in your life. You're feeling stuck or dissatisfied with where you are in your life. That is when you know it's time for you to take a different approach to where you are. Because when you stay in that place too long, when you stay in that rut too long, you tend to forget that you have a savior, you have help, you have someone to rescue you out of this bind that you're in, whether it be mental, whether it be physical. You know, God knows every single thing that we're dealing with. And we are so accustomed to being strong and trying to get through and pressing through and continuing to go on that we fail to just sort of lay it all out there and fall before God and say, I can't handle this. I can't carry this. And when we do that, we eventually deteriorate more and more, and we become less powerful, and we become more weak, and we become vulnerable in the hands of the enemy. And so anything that can come against you will come against you. Your job, your family members, your friends, everything that can go wrong in your life will start to happen slowly but surely. And it'll be obvious because it'll be random things out of the blue. Like, how is this the week from hell? How is it that this has been the month from hell? How was everything going well? The path forward was looking great. Everything was in line for the promise, in line for the blessing. And all of a sudden, life starts to come at you swinging with both arms, almost like it's windmilling you to death, almost like life is targeting you specifically. And it's not life, it's the enemy. But he uses life and the circumstances and the people around you to bring you down. Listen, no one knows what you deal with better than God. No one knows every single thing in your heart and your mind and your soul that you are dealing with that more than your creator. God knows what you don't even admit to yourself is a problem. And so when you're dealing with people, when you're dealing with circumstances and you're dealing with chaos, people are not sensitive to the fact that you are maybe fragile. People aren't sensitive to the fact that maybe you're experiencing a health issue that you aren't vocal about, that you aren't telling people about. People aren't sensitive to the fact that you're going through trauma, that you're going through depression, that you're going through anxiety, that whatever is happening in your life is going on because you're sort of holding these things close and not allowing people to see that this is actually what's taking place behind your smile. This is what's actually taking place behind your laughter, behind your friendliness and your kindness. And all of these things is something that is broken, is something that is hurt, but God knows. And when you stop pretending to be okay, then you allow God to be the strength in your life that you need in order to bring you up out of this fragile state and put you into a better place, a place of strength, a place of courage, a place of authenticity where you can actually say, no, I am not okay, and I cannot take on more of your burdens. I cannot take on anything else because I need God to fix me. I need him to fix my broken pieces. I need him to make my path straight because something is falling off. And you have to understand this. We always talk about time in the presence of God and time in prayer. Listen, those things are crucial and pivotal and vital to your mental well-being, your physical well-being. Those things are crucial to you being able to understand exactly where you are and deal with the things before they get out of control. Time in the presence of God doesn't mean that life is going to just leave you alone. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be attacked on your job. It doesn't mean that people are going to target every little thing about you. It doesn't mean that you won't be susceptible to health issues, but it does mean that you can run to the source of your strength and you can cry out to him and say, God, I need you. These things are going out of control. Things are spiraling, and I need you to step in and help me because I don't want to drown. Life will drown you. It will suffocate you. It will literally crush your spirit. But If you stay connected to the source, and I'm going to say this over and over again, if you stay connected to the source of your strength, the source of your power, the source of your mental well-being, the source of your physical health, God will give you peace in the storm. He will give you peace in chaos. He will come in and he will give you peace that you yourself cannot comprehend, because the peace that comes from God is simply the knowing and the understanding that he is in control. And no matter what you do, no matter what you try to do, no matter how you try to manipulate life to make it seem as if you are just coasting along, even though you're getting rocks thrown at your head and you're getting ran over by trucks and you're getting boulders thrown into your chest, even though all of those things are happening, God will actually give you the peace that passes all understanding. Listen, you don't have to keep walking around like you're okay when you're not. Trust me, God sees, he knows, and he has every answer that you need to actually be okay. So those of you who are experiencing health issues in your body, you're having a breakdown that you don't understand, and it's causing you to feel defeated, and it's causing you to feel deflated because this wasn't what you saw for yourself. I want you to know that prayer changes things. Those of you who are experiencing mental breakdowns, you're going through depression, you're experiencing anxiety, you feel like life is over, you feel like things are too late for you, you feel like nothing good is going to happen for you, I want you to know that prayer changes things. Those of you who are being attacked in the workplace, everything seems to be coming down on your head, and it all is stemming from a place of your health and what you've been dealing with that you haven't been sharing with people, your mental well-being, your physical well-being. Things are happening in the background. You're going through things that people have no idea about, and it seems like the attacks are relentless. I want you to know that prayer changes things. God is the answer to all of your problems, but you need to stop pretending with God. You need to let the cry out. Let yourself break before his feet and allow him to put you back together perfectly. God is everything you need when you are broken. He's everything you need when you're whole. He's all that you need forevermore. If you would just begin to allow yourself to cry. Let it out. Cry in the shower. Cry when you're laying in the bed. Cry. Get it out. Cleanse yourself. Purge yourself of everything that you have been holding in. God will renew you. He will refresh you. And you will feel so much better that you can release this mask. You can take off this shell of who you want people to think that you are, and you can actually be where you are and who you are before your Creator. God is for you. He's not against you. And where you are weak, he is made strong. Stop trying to be strong and allow God to be your strength. Be blessed on today. I love you on today. God loves you so much more. Until next time, I'll see you soon.